Part 10, ECM Titanium. In this section, we will review ECM Titanium. This software is one of the best tuning options worldwide, supporting a wide range of ECUs and vehicles. It is made by the Italian Alientech, and you can get it from our website. ECM Titanium software comes in various packages based on what you need. You can select the option you need if you go through the description of each package. The price list of all packages is available on our website and the website of Alientech. If you are new to tuning and remapping, and the amount of work you do is limited, start with the first package, which is also the least expensive. This package is called the ECM Titanium credit version. It gives you 1,000 driver downloading credits. This means that by purchasing ECM Titanium credit version, you can download and remap new files from the databank 1,000 credits. There is no annual subscription, and you can renew the credit again after downloading 1,000 times. You can enable the checksum correction option for this package separately. The price of this version is 890 euros. The next version, the complete software mode, is the ECM Titanium full version. The difference between this and the credit version is that it supports all vehicles in ECUs and has limited downloads. You can also provide the checksum correction option separately. The price of this version is 2,200 euros. The important thing about this package is that you have to charge the subscription annually, which is around 550 euros. And eventually, the ECM Titanium full promo version is available only in association with KES V2 or K-Tag in the master version. It includes 12 months of subscription. The price will be 1,100 euros. Commonly, you have to pay 500 euros for an annual subscription. It does not have the checksum correction option. You have to provide it separately. Also, you can upgrade from the credit version to the full version by paying an additional price. ECM Titanium is the software developed by Alientech for reviewing and editing engine and gearbox control units' original files. If you are at the very beginning, you are in the right place. From the next 20 minutes, we will focus on what ECM Titanium is, how to launch it, how to get a driver concluding with the software's basic functions, and how to save a modified file in its database. For all the advanced editing functions, take a look at the next video. What is ECM Titanium software? This software is produced by Alientech. ECM Titanium is a software that allows tuners to independently view and modify the maps of any original calibration file and read with any tool available in the market. This software is installed inside a USB pen drive, and you can buy it from all Alientech retailers and official channels. Do not mind the size. Thanks to its simplicity of use and compatibility, this small and compact object can be considered the most powerful tool on which a tuner can invest. Inside the USB pen drive there are a microprocessor and an SD memory expandable to 128 gigabytes, essential for saving all the original files in a personal database of related drivers and, of course, the modified files. How to launch it? Launching ECM Titanium is very easy. Just a small note for Mac users, you need to get an additional Windows operating system emulator. If this is your first time using this software, open the Explorer panel as soon as the USB pen drive is inserted into the computer. Click on the unit assigned to ECM Titanium and click on the setup file to install it on your computer. After choosing the desired language, click on Next to proceed. We must read and accept both the disclaimers regarding the license and the terms of use to proceed. Lastly, click on the Install and wait for the installation to complete. This procedure is necessary only once. In the future, after inserting the USB key, just click on the ECM icon created on your desktop after the installation. We always recommend staying connected to the internet while working. By doing so, ECM Titanium will download the updated list of all the drivers available on the Alien Tech servers, as well as any other software and driver updates. This step usually takes from a few seconds to a couple of minutes, but working with the latest updates available is worth it. During an offline session instead, the update window will automatically close in a few seconds. Still, you can use only the driver and original files previously downloaded and saved on your database. How to start it? Okay, now we stratted ECM Titanium. Before starting to explore the full potential of this software, let's take a look at the main sections. At the top left, there is the main menu with all the macro sections. Immediately below are the icons linked to the most common functions on ECM, such as loading an original file, modified file, save and delete memory functions, and the info section, which contains the serial number of your ECM license associated with your customer code. Now we are ready to do some useful customization in the settings. The language. To change it, click on the related icon to check all the available languages. Let's choose the desired language and click on OK to save it. The password. Given the importance of this software, if you want to make sure that no one else uses it without your permission, you can set a personal password that will be requested each time ECM Titanium is started. To do this, click on Settings, then click on Change Password. Just check not to exceed 16 characters. Lastly, the Smooth Background option, which, if activated, allows you to have a fully customizable graphic experience to simplify and make the table look more intuitive. Click Settings, Options, and flag it. How does it work? Now that we have configured the main settings, let's get deeper into ECM Titanium. This software is used to calibrate the original ECU files of cars, motorcycles, tractors, trucks, and boats, such as automatic transmission control units that are readable with any tool if not encrypted. The main aspect of ECM Titanium, allowing it to stand out among its competitors, is versatility. Thanks to the constant introduction of new drivers by Alien Tech technicians, these drivers are matched and made available for any original file uploaded by the customer, making it easy to consult and modify. It is important to remember that original files contain a tremendous amount of information, but only a small portion is relevant for engine calibration. For this reason, during the driver creation process, Alien Tech developers carefully analyzed the entire original file, collecting and organizing all the parameters linked to the performance of a particular engine or gearbox. Work on ECM. Let's start to work with ECM Titanium. To do this, we need an original file from which to start. If it is a file saved on our computer, we can upload it by clicking on Browse, and after selecting it, click on Open. Alien Tech recommends saving any original file with an ORI extension, even if ECM Titanium can open files with any other extension. If it is the first time loading an original file, as you can see, driver research automatically starts. In a few seconds, we can see the driver's list next to a colored square that identifies their status. Red for all the files not present in the USB memory. Green for those already saved. Yellow for the files previously saved for which Alien Tech technicians released an update. Perfect. The research returned our red square driver. This means that we do not have it in our database, so we need to download it from Alien Tech's servers. Select the file. Click on Download Driver. Then accept it to see the list of maps contained in the original files and start working on it. To save time and avoid repeating this step several times, click Yes on the pop-up asking to register the file in the database. This way, both the original file and the driver will be saved on the USB memory and ready next time. Don't forget to do this operation if you expect to work offline from time to time. To load it directly from your database located on the flash memory, in the database section on the left of the screen, click on Open. Select Vehicles, Brand, and Model from the drop-down menu. Then click on Start Search. Here is the list of original files and drivers saved on the USB key for the chosen vehicle. After choosing one of them, ECM Titanium allows us to delete it for the yellow square files, download the updated version of the driver, export it on our computer, visualize all the modified files created from the original file selected, and export it on our computer. And lastly, accept it and proceed with the modification. We have just seen one of the 4 states that can be assigned to a driver on ECM Titanium. Let's see what to do in other cases. If the square next to the driver resulting from the search is green, simply click on the Accept Driver after selecting it. If it is a yellow, we can decide to accept it by clicking on the Accept Driver or to update it by clicking on the Download Driver before accepting it again. This step is not mandatory, but obviously it is always better to work with updated versions. Lastly, if the research fails, it means that there is no driver match available for our original file at the moment. In this case, we have a red square too. But as you can see, next to it, there is not any driver code, just no driver compatible with the selected file. The only operation we should perform in this case is to click on the driver request. At this point, we can mention another strong feature of ECM, the assistance provided by Alien Tech. Whenever a customer finds an original file not supported by the drivers on servers, the software allows opening a driver request that can end with its creation of a compatible driver. Well, let's click on the driver request, and as you can see, we are redirected to the Alien Tech dashboard. We enter our email and password to authenticate. Click on the driver request section, then load the original file. The system asks us to fill the form with as much information as possible, essential for the help desk staff who will take charge of the request, including our information, brand and model of the vehicle, engine displacement, horsepower, ECU manufacturer, its number, and lastly, its version. Let's conclude by taking a quick look at the terms of use. Then check the related box and click on Confirm. With this step, we completed the submission. Furthermore, a notification of successful operation has just been sent to the email linked to the Alien Tech ID. If you want to check the status of your request, click on the driver request report. Here we can view all the requests forwarded to Alien Tech Assistance and their completion status. Pending indicates if it still has to be taken in charge. In progress means Alien Tech's help desk is currently working on it. Suspended indicates missed information on the filled form. It will remain pending until the customer completes what is missing. Closed indicates the end of the driver request process. This can have two outcomes. The first outcome is when Alien Tech staff finds an existing driver fully compatible with our original file. In this case, the request will be closed by emailing the customer with the compatible driver code that has to be searched and downloaded. Let's see how right now. Let's go back to ECM Titanium and reload the original file by clicking Browse. Stop the automatic search by clicking on Abort Search and search the driver manually by its code. Clicking on the driver's name, then type the code sent by the assistants. Let's download and accept it. The second possible outcome occurs when there is no compatible driver for our original file. In that case, the assistants will close our request after creating and inserting the new driver into the server. Let's see how to find it. Let's go back to ECM and reload the original file. And after the automatic driver search starts, here's the new driver created for us. Let's download and accept it to start working on its maps. In case we need other types of assistance for the ECM Titanium product, after entering Alien Tech's dashboard, click on Technical Support under the Help Desk section. Now click on ECM Titanium Remapping software and insert the serial number associated with your ECM Titanium product. To be able to compile assistance requests, let's click on the button next to the serial number. After filling out the form, click on Send Request. When the Alien Tech technicians reply, we will receive a notification email. Open the first map. Okay, we have just seen how to load the original file and allow ECM Titanium to interpret it with the correct driver. Here is the list of maps whose internal values influence the vehicle's performance analyzed. If you notice, the code in the first line related to the driver corresponds exactly to the code of our original file. Unless we use a compatible driver indicated by the assistants, this correspondence will always be unique. Let's select a map and open it by double-clicking the mouse left button, in case a checksum warning appears. If you intend to write it with original Alien Tech tools, just ignore it by clicking OK. Instead, if you are using different tools or an EEPROM programmer, consider the warning before writing the file. The default visualization is tabular. The map comprises the horizontal and vertical axis and the values between them. Accordingly, the information contained in this and other maps can be read thanks to the drivers developed for this specific original file. Let's see how they are organized. Each axis has values expressed in specific units of measurement chosen by the ECU manufacturer according to the reference parameter. For example, the power values can be found expressed in kilowatts rather than horsepower. These data are displaced in the first cell at the top left. The unit of measurement of the values inside the map is located at the end of the map's name. Let's analyze the rest of the window. At the top left, we find a panel with the main menu items and the most useful direct commands, basic and advanced. In this video, we analyze only the basic ones. For others, take a look at the next video about ECM Titanium. Instead, at the bottom of the screen, we find the respective paths of the original file, loaded, and the modified file that we will save as soon as the work is finished. Together, some other information about these two files will be saved. Basic editing functions. Now, let's see the most used basic functions. Edit value and interpolation. Almost every modification will be done with one of these two functions. In case we want to modify a range of cells with different values, we will use interpolation. However, if we need to overwrite one or more map cells with a fixed value, we should choose edit value. The interpolation function is fascinating. It works by selecting a minimum of 2 cells and allows you to apply a range of values by intervening only on the horizontal and vertical extremes. Let's see how with an example. On the vertical axis, we have engine revolutions. On the horizontal axis, the percentage position of the accelerator pedal. The engine torque values of this map are expressed in Newton meters. Let us suppose that we need to increase the calculated engine torque value between 3,000 and 8,000 engine revolutions when the percentage position of the accelerator pedal is at its maximum. Our goal is to bring the torque to 300 in Newton meters when the engine is at 3,000 engine revolutions and up to 450 Newton meters at 8,000 engine revolutions. In the last column, which corresponds to the maximum percentage position of the accelerator pedal, we select the entire range of values from 3,000 to 8,000 on the vertical axis and click interpolation. The options offered by the interpolation function are absolute and percentage increments and overriding values. The absolute increment is used to add or subtract if we're talking about a negative number, a fixed value that we're going to insert in the cells below. The percentage increment is, instead, a percentage increase calculated starting from the value of the map to which a specific percentage is added. Once you click on the OK button, ECM Titanium automatically adds the calculated percentage increment to the value in the map. The overwrite values instead of adding or subtracting, it is intended to uniformly replace the values included within our selection. We start from the upper side of our selection, which is replaced by the number entered in the first cell, while the lower one is overwritten by the number entered in the second cell. All the values between the extremes are overwritten with the decimal numbers between the first and the second value. This rule is valid both for a horizontal selection for which the values are read from left to right as for a vertical selection in which the first cell corresponds to the first value selected in the map and the second one corresponds to the last selected value. In our case, we use this last option, overwrite values. Let's type 300 in the first cell at the top and 450 in the second. Furthermore, our file changed from an original file to a modified one with just a modified map. Remember that between one interpolation and the other, the last option used will be saved. If we want to change it, we should click on the corresponding flag. The other basic function widely used is edit value. This command is similar to the override values of the interpolation function, but it differs in the number of selected cells. It works indifferently with one or more cells, and always overwrites the same value in all the selected cells. To set a fixed torque value, for example, 450 Newton meters, between 3,000 and 5,500 engine revolutions, when the percentage position of the accelerator pedal is 85%, we should select the values on the map. Click Edit Value and overwrite with 450. Save the modified file. Once finished editing this map, close it by clicking on the X at the top right. Click on OK to return to the list of maps. Notice how the modified maps are recognizable at a glance, with a flag inside the green square. Once the map's modification is finished, let's save our modified file to then reprogram it on the control unit. We can choose to save it in the internal memory of ECM Titanium or on our computer. Click on File, Save Modified EEPROM, and click on Yes if you want to save the modified file in the database of the USB key. Click on No to export it to your computer's hard disk. If we click No, we have to choose Yes in the next pop-up and then specify the path to save the modified file. To resume a modified file saved inside the ECM Titanium's memory, we should open the local database, as shown at the beginning of the video. Let's choose the brand and model of the vehicle and start the search. Select the original file and click on View. Modify to check all the modified files created starting from an original file. Choose the modified file to reopen and then accept data. Conclusion: with the last step, the video tutorial dedicated to the basic functions of ECM Titanium is concluded. We have seen what this software is for and how it works, what the drivers are for, how to search and request them in Alien Tech Dashboard, how to save and open files in the memory of the USB key, the basic editing functions, and lastly, how to save a modified file. Generally, to remap, you should find the tables and then remap them. ECM Titanium finds the tables by itself. It is a good idea to have some table changing knowledge. In Schiller, we will learn how to perform a principal accurate and safe remap.